Hey everyone, this is Anish back at you. So we are on day two of our AWS tips and tricks. So I'm planning to do 45 of these over the next few weeks, over the 7 weeks. And today I have something interesting for all of you, which is going to be the course headers. And so CORS is short for cross origin resource sharing. And this is a very powerful technique for making sure that the methods and the headers, all of that which are allowed, are being restricted to your particular domain, for example. And so let us look at how to configure course headers in let's say one of our web applications that I have serverless and written in Lambda. So here you can see that I have this track location, which is a Lambda function. So one of the few things that I do, which is not essential, is I explicitly write course headers and methods to be allowed within my Lambda function itself. I have found that at least whitelisting the options method really helps when you have this written in the Lambda function in addition to API gateway. So let me show what I mean by all of this. Is if you go into the code, you can see here that I have this options request, and I also have other course headers like post and options and things like that, where these headers are going to be overridden if API gateway is configured along with this. Okay, so I also configure an API gateway, but in case I forget, these Lambda functions will handle the course headers. But what these are essentially saying is at the end of the day, I'm going to allow these course headers. Okay, specifically I'm going to allow origin equals star, where it says the request can come from any origin, so not just from, let's say, my amplify app or local host or something. It can come from any origin. The methods that are going to be allowed are post and options, and finally the allowed headers. I will talk about this in a second, but the content type, authorization, xmz date, API key, secure token, these are all some allowed headers. Okay, more important than this, the headers that I make sure that I allow for sure are going to be options requests. Now, options requests are very interesting. So these are inbuilt into all our browsers, and before any particular request is going to hit our Lambda function, for example, an options request is going to be sent, which just goes boom, boom, boom to API gateway and make sure that the connection is established. That's pretty much it. Now, sometimes the API gateway may not respond properly, which is why I have it in our Lambda function as well. And so all I'm saying is if the HTTP method is options, return a 200 response. Okay. So this is what I'm going to allow in the Lambda function, and the headers are going to be all of these parameters: the what is the origin, what are the methods, and what exactly are the headers. Okay. So now the real place where you need to work on course headers is going to be in API gateway. So let me go into the API gateway that is going to be fronting this Lambda function. And so here you can see that this particular application was my last application, and it is fronted by our security for this is taken care by Cognito identity pools. Course can be a way of securing as well in addition to Cognito identity pools. And so here, what I'm going to do is this is an HTTP API, and there's course on the left. And so here is where I'm going to whitelist all the different places from which the request is going to be allowed. So, for example, here you can see that the Amplify app, only these particular Amplify apps, in fact, I don't know why I have it twice, but this particular Amplify app can even be allowed to access the Lambda function. Okay, so that itself is a big security protection. In addition, the headers that I'm going to allow are usually these are the five things that I always specify: authorization, content type, XAMZ date, XAPI key, and security token. Content type is probably the most important. So content type is where you specify that your application can send JSON requests, which is always needed. And so you have to make sure that content type headers is going to be allowed. The next type of header that I usually choose is authorization. So anytime I have Cognito that is going to be involved and I'm going to have temporary security tokens, or I want to have an API key authorization, or just any kind of authorization that where if it is going to be part of my architecture, then I allow authorization XAPI key and XMZ security token as well. XMZ date also is from a security standpoint where requests, if they come, and again, if Cognito is going to be involved, the present date needs to be part of the request. And so I also put XAMZ date. The last thing that I do is the methods. So typically, I should allow, these are all the different methods. I shouldn't really allow star, but for now it's okay. Star just means I'm allowing all methods, but I always make sure that I allow get, post, and options. So now, once I have put this as my course configurations, we are absolutely certain that only my Amplify app will be able to access my Lambda function, and the headers that are going to be allowed are these, and these are going to be the methods that are going to be allowed. So hopefully today's video was a little bit informative from a security standpoint on how you can configure CORS both in API Gateway and Lambda. And with that, I'll come back tomorrow with another tip and trick, and hopefully you all have a good rest of your day. Thank you for your time, everyone. Bye.